I gotta find a way to get this money by tomorrow. I gotta find a way to get this, I gotta.
What is going on, my lovely friends? Candace B here. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Glad to have you here. How you doing? If you are already subscribed, welcome back. Love to have you back. Thank you for coming back. I just hope everyone is having a great day and has had a great trading week. Today I am back with another forecasting video. I actually did not trade at all this past week, this NFP week, so pretty much there are no trades to review, but there are a lot of preparations that we can do for this upcoming week because I really just want to have a good trading week and I want you guys to as well. So let's share ideas, let's talk about things, let's just all collectively have a phenomenal week in the markets. So that being said, before we get into this video, I'm just going to need you guys to pause, scroll down and hit that like button if you enjoy these type of videos, these market outlook forecasting type of videos. I enjoy doing them, but you guys have to let me know if you like them. And also subscribe while you're down there, you might as well. I'm trying to, be a bit more efficient with my posting. I want to bring you guys more content, but don't hold me to it because, I'm a mess, but I'm trying. That's the key word. And so that being said, let us get into this video. Okay, all right. So we have GBP, JPY, of course, on the screen. And this is the only pair that I trade. So the fact that I did not trade at all last week, that was totally just my what's the word? It's just something that I chose to do. I know a lot of people trade more than one pair. So let's say, GJ wasn't acting right last week. They had other pairs to trade. For me, I just took a whole break from the market altogether. And there is nothing wrong with that. I don't feel like, in my opinion, there is. Because when GJ is trending and when GJ is moving, there are so many opportunities. So I feel like I'd rather just be patient and wait for those opportunities. But as you can see, we are on the monthly time frame right now. And I mentioned in my last market outlook that I wanted to see how the monthly candle was going to close. I was thinking with how it was looking last week that it was going to close bearish, and it did close bearish, as we can see. It closed in a pretty indecisive way, and some people might not know what I mean by indecisive, but when I see a candlestick that has a huge top wick, a huge bottom wick, and then this kind of in-between body that isn't as large as the wick. So if I scroll in here, you can see that the size of the body itself is smaller than the size of any of the wicks, but there are huge wicks to both the up and the downside. To me, that just means that price was very indecisive in terms of where it wanted to go. It did not close like this December candle where it had a huge definite body, or the November candle, when it had a bearish body. These were both very definite candlesticks. As opposed, like when you compare, you can see that it is a completely different type of candle. So for me, that looks like indecision. That looks like price didn't really know which direction it wanted to go. So it pushed up a little, it pushed down a little, and it ended up closing bearish at this point. It did not break this level here. It did not close above this level. So we're kind of still in this this range here. I'll just use this vertical line. We're still in this range. All the candlesticks are still closing below. So now, since we are in the beautiful month of February, and I hope you guys are all having a great February and continue to do so, as you can see where we closed in the previous month, this is obviously where we opened. We pushed a little bit down. Let me just scroll in. We pushed a little bit down. You see that little wick, and now we've been pushing up. We've already tested this level, and it's only, what day is today? At the time of filming, this is like what, February the 6th? Let me check. Yeah, today's February the 6th. So we're only, a couple days into February, and we've already tested this level. Not to say we won't test it again, but as you can see, there is some rejection happening. So I'm curious to see if overall, if we're just gonna hold that level again for once again for another month, or if we're finally going to, break to the upside and kind of continue making this higher low, higher high structure. But let us go down to the weekly time frame and see what's going on here. Okay, so as we can see, the week before last week, we had that doji candle that formed that looks literally like the monthly candle. where it's like you have the upper wick, the lower wick, and then that small body, that indecision. So it closed as an indecisive candle, and then from there we just automatically pushed up last week. There really wasn't any downside. There wasn't really any push to the downside, and I know that my bias initially was bearish, and that was another reason why I chose to not trade, because my mindset was bearish. My mindset was I'm looking for sells, and I didn't find that. So by the time, price was pushing up, I was just like, well, it's already midweek, NFP's on Friday. There's no point in me, entering the market just to follow, just in fear of missing out, when that wasn't my plan, So I just scrapped everything and just let the market do what it wanted to do. But it is interesting to see the fact that price had no downside. It did not push down at all. It was very, very definite in terms of where it wanted to go this past week. And it pushed all the way up, rejecting again this level here, which is also interesting because even though it had so much momentum to the upside for a whole week, it still was not able to break this level here. So this is safe to say that this is a very, very strong area, just all here. You can go back months and months before and confirm that that's the case. So, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen, honestly. Like, I really don't know what this week is going to bring, because when I kind of analyze things and kind of break down what the candlesticks look like, if this candlestick had closed above like the high of or above the open of this candlestick, then I would have more confidence that bulls are more in control. But the fact that you can literally see that it closed below the open, then, I don't know. I just want to see if this wick is going to be filled or if this is a rejection. But these are things I take into consideration, like the position of the candlesticks, how they close, the size of the body, stuff like that, especially on the higher time frames, because that shows like the momentum. So we're now on the daily, and whoopsies. Yeah, and for me, the daily was just looking weird, I guess, because I was kind of looking in the past, like it just looks, I don't know. I just can't really see much structure. Maybe many people watching this can see, like Candace, like there's so much structure, but I personally can't see it. I'll have to drop down to the lower time frames to see. But last week, the day would have started. It would essentially have been, I guess, the 31st of January, which would have been the Monday, and then it continued. So this was all of last week. So yeah, definitely pushed up, price pushed up, and then right at the end, the Friday, which was NFP, it pushed right down. I like the fact that these candlesticks were closing above, the previous one, like the close was above the high of the previous one. The close of this candlestick was above the high of this previous one. So we see that. We can even draw kind of like a trend line. We see that price is definitely moving up. So I don't know if this could be a correction. I'm wondering if it is actually a correction, like a pullback before we push back up, because obviously when price is trending, you want to see that structure, the higher highs, higher lows, or if we're going down, the lower highs, lower lows. I feel like that's the best time, in my opinion, to trade, or one of the best times is when you see structure being clear. So yeah, I don't know. The daily's not really telling me much, though. It's just telling me that we had a lot of bullish action, and then the bears came in right at the end to close it off. So we'll see what happens. Let's go down to the H4 and see. And as you can see, the trend line is essentially still holding true pretty much, just with a little adjustment. We see just this rejection off of this trend line. So maybe there's a chance that price might come back down to this level. I mean, I personally don't use trend lines. I'm trying to more and more use like liquidity, because it just makes sense, price coming back down to liquidity areas. For me, the liquidity area would probably be here, like where this wick is, seeing if price comes back down here. And that would kind of correlate to previous price action, where price did tap this area quite a few times and, reject off of it before pushing down. So I want to see if that is the case, if that happens, if when we get down to this level, if we're just going to bounce off of it once more and push up, because then that would mean that, higher high, higher low structure is happening. But man, when I see this, I'm just like, ugh, like this is so ugly. I do not like seeing a bunch of top wicks in the same area. Like really this level here, what is this level? 156 we'll say 156.2 up until 156.5. That was just bouncing. And when I go down to the lower time frames, I'll be able to see that clearer. But yeah, like just seeing that, to me, I'm just like, okay, the bears are not going to go away without a fight. Like they're going to try to see if they can do something. For me at this point, I would need to see very bearish momentum to the downside, like a break of these structures, as opposed to like, you know, seeing price come back down and push up. That to me is not a bullish, that to me is not a bearish indication. It's more of a bullish indication. But I would have to see price come back down to these levels and break these previous lows and stuff like that, just to see, you know, if we are going down indeed. But if we do sustain this area and start pushing up and, you know, breaking these highs, then the bulls are in charge, and, you know, we have to act accordingly in that case. So let's go down to the 1 hour. And yeah, as you can see, just that top area here, price is just going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. When it gets to the bottom of here, it pushes up. When it gets to the top, it pushes down. So a complete range. I know a lot of people trade ranges, which is cool. Me personally, it just confuses me. I did see this happening and I'm just like, this looks like it might be a reversal, but like there was no more indication, because technically the trend is bullish. So like this would be like kind of, I don't know, a counter trend or a counter trade. And I don't know, I just didn't know how I felt about it. But, you know, based on the 1 hour, it does kind of look like a reversal is happening. If we see that, you know, we have this higher high, higher low structure, then we see consolidation, and then we see a break to the downside of the consolidation, and then we see a retest, and then we see push down. Now, price, if it were to have closed a bit lower, then for sure I'd be like, okay, yeah, you know, I have more of a bias for shorting positions, but in this case, it kind of closed just right in this area. So I just want to see structures start to be broken, and when you look left, you see price closing. Sorry, like my charts look crazy, but I just want to see price breaking, and then when you look left, you can see that price is breaking those levels. For me, that is a very good indication. So I feel like I'll definitely will have to be patient this week, but they usually say that the week after NFP is usually pretty lucrative. I've seen it both ways. I've seen it where it's like, yeah, like it's lucrative, and no, it's kind of slow. So we will definitely see. At this point, the 1 hour is the clearest structure for me. So I think that I'll be depending a lot on the H1, you know, right now, based on the higher time frames, the trend is up right now. So that's what I'm looking at in that case. But yeah, 30-minute, you know, it's pretty much the same as the 1 hour, just showing a bit more detail. I just want to see structure broken. So pretty much I'm waiting for price to come back down to this level and react to it, whether it bounces off of it or it breaks it. If it bounces off of it, then, you know, I'd probably be looking for buys, probably back to this upside here based on my, you know, risk reward. If price does not bounce off, it actually indeed breaks the level here. Let's say it comes back down to this level and it retests it. I would want to see if it can sustain this level, this liquidity area, and then start pushing back down, maybe back, just right back down to this level before it pushes up or before it once again pushes down. So, you know, for me, just taking it level by level would be the best idea for the way I trade, my mindset, just how I see the market. And then just going from there and not making rash decisions. That is the key. Not making decisions just based on impulse, but instead based on my strategy and based on what I prepared for. I want to see if price is able to respect levels. You know, if GJ can respect levels, then you know, that'll be easier for me to read. But once it breaks levels, it kind of calls for a reassessment, in my opinion. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Honestly, a very quick, hopefully, I hope this was quick, a quick breakdown, my thought process, how I'm going into this week. I'm going in with confidence. I'm going to be telling myself affirmations, you know, that I am a good trader. I deserve profits. I will be disciplined. I will have very disciplined risk management, and I can recover from those losses because I am disciplined with my risk management, and I am happy, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I deserve wealth. So tell yourself affirmations. I feel like that is a really good way to get your mind right, especially if you're coming off of a losing week or even a winning week, like, you know, just to humble yourself, getting your mind right. I think it's very important that we talk to ourselves and not get too, you know, into what's happening in social media, you know, not overindulge in that kind of lifestyle, because it's easy to see people being successful, but you don't really see the other side. And even if you do see the other side, that can kind of discourage you. So in my opinion, just if we stay in our own lanes and we focus on what works for us and we keep just tweaking things, trial and error, and being patient, having grace with ourselves, then we are bound for success. So I wish you guys all the success this week and moving forward in your trading journey. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by smashing that like button. I always appreciate it. And comment down below, let me know what currencies or indices or instruments that you are trading this week. Are you going to be taking a break from this week? You know, what is your plan this week ahead? And last but not least, do not forget to subscribe so you know when I post another video. And in the meantime, feel free to check out any of my other videos on this channel and my other channel, Candace B TV, where I vlog. But that being said, my ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this, you are worthy of success and happiness, and you will achieve it. Just do not give up. And I hope you have an outstandingly exceptional day, week, and life. Bye.